Good day to everyone. It's me again. We're actually here, and today is actually June 4th, 2021. So, for this unpackaging review, this is going to be for Jams Posh. Alright, so, I have a couple of packages here. It came in from the Our Empire as well. So, for today, I actually have one, two, and one more, three packages. All right, so basically for today, what we're about to feature is the one for Jams Posh. All right, so for this video, this is the shipment coming from Jams Posh. It certainly got delayed because it was initially been sent out, I believe, May 17th or May 18th, just to verify it. And by the way, this package was actually been held in customs. It's been a long story, but I won't go deeper onto that. But definitely this particular shipment gave me plenty of issues. So here it is. It's stated over here that it actually came from UAE. Alright, so it was initially been sent out last May 18th, 2021. Alright, so for this particular shipment, let's check the rest of the details. Yeah. Anyway, I won't go deeper on what happened, but where's our music? There we go. Alright. Well, just to share with everybody, for this particular timepiece, it actually contains a few luxury watches. So, just to share with everybody, if you could simply notice, for this particular shipment, I actually paid plenty. So there's actually a large amount of money for this particular shipment. And in addition to that, I will still have to discuss few matters with the tax office. Right, so to avoid further delay, let's open this up. So if you can simply notice, this package, it says over here that it has been detained. It has a red sticker on it. So it got detained, and it was just recently been released. Alright, so let's open this one up. Alright, so this is my first shipment coming from Jams Posh. Alright, so let's see, that's one, two, there's a lot, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those are 8 timepieces. So let's start, because it's going to be a long video. But let's do our best to actually make it a quick one. Alright? So let's put the rest on this side. So let's begin. So let's start with this free watches that I got from them. This is actually for my daughter. Thank you, Jamie, for giving me an additional one for Mieko. Though she's still a baby girl, I'll bet she'll like to wear this. So these are the digital watches that I got from them. This is the Export. Alright, so probably for kids it would actually be advisable for them because if you're going to hand over certain watches to kids, definitely it will end up scratched or damaged. So here it is. To avoid, let's open both of them so that we could feature it at the same time. Alright, So for the casing, I like it. It's actually simple, but well, it definitely does its job on protecting the timepieces, to be honest. Because, well, the casing cushion is actually solid. Alright, so here we go. So these are the free watches that they give away during their events. So if I were you guys, I would try my luck by participating on their events so that you could actually get this free timepieces. Alright, so this is X Sport. As far as I can see, it says here that it's, let's check it further. Alright, basically, let's see, it seems that this particular watch, alright, here we go. So it says over here water resistant, and the maker is Sanse. Quite sure if you guys could actually view it clearly. Let's try it focusing a little bit. Could barely see it in camera. Alright, there you go. So it says QC passed, and let's check if it has the same. Yes, it definitely has the same feature as the Tommy watches, but the brand for this one is Export. Alright, so the light can actually change, so definitely it would actually entice my daughter to wear it, especially when she's out at night, or probably in the car when there's no light. Right, so it even has a flashing setting. So for this watch, as what I can see, it's perfectly built up. So well, I'm not quite sure what the function is for the, let's see, it has a crown, but I'm not quite sure what the function is. Well, probably I'll check it further. Right, it seems, whoops, what was that for? Oh, it's like a lock, something to get rid of. Well, probably I'll just find that one later. Alright, so I'll just put this one back. How do you put this in? Anyway, I'll just check this one further later. Alright, seems that supposedly there's something else that needs to be placed in. There you go. Alright, so probably it's just a design for it to look like that. It actually has an analog function. Alright, so it has a timer, a date, so it's just like your day-to-day digital watch. So I would definitely advise you guys that if you want to actually if you don't own a watch yet, and you actually want to have one, well, you could get those for free by joining their events. So all you have to do is just participate. They actually go on live more than 5 times a day. So if you could invite friends over to watch them, that would help you a lot, because whenever they reach barely around 30 viewers, automatically they start the events. Right? So for this one, thank you, Jammy. Thanks, Jams Posh, for the gifts for my daughter. Right, so these are the first 2 timepieces, so let's put it there. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Well, I believe there's 2 more. Let's start with this. Alright, so for this particular timepieces, I'm not quite sure what it is, because basically my wife was the one who had been bidding, because I advised her that I needed to get something from Jams Posh to actually promote their items because basically it's my first time to have a transaction with them. All right. So for the box inclusion, as what I can see, it's nice. All right. It's a wooden. It's a wooden box with. It's a bit heavy though, and it's actually. I think this is synthetic leather. Yeah. All right. So here it is. So the first item for today, or it's actually the third item for today, is, let's check what it is. Oops. So for this, it says over here it's a Mireille. Alright. So basically they read it as Miret, but based on my research, it's actually supposed to be Mireille. Alright. So just that's something to share to everybody. Alright, so for this timepiece, well, it's nice. It's heavy. So let's show it on cam. It's heavy, it has a solid build. Alright, so let's focus it. Alright, there you go. So it still has, well, let's check. Alright, so it doesn't have a lock anymore. There you go. So let's check the chrono. Yep, it's perfectly working. You can see it on the top. So let's try resetting it at the bottom. Alright. So basically, whenever it happens like that for micro brand watches, all you have to do is pull it out. Alright, so you could actually just, this is something that would actually help you guys. Pull out the crown and then just simply press the start button at the top. Oh no, I haven't pulled it out yet. So you need to pull it out perfectly. So the seconds hand needs to stop. Alright, so all you have to do is simply reset it so that it would actually go back to the top. Oh, here we go. All right, let's focus it. All right, so if you could simply notice the small hand is actually moving. You just have to keep on pressing it until it actually reaches 60. Alright, so we're almost there. Let me just do it a little bit up close. Here we go. So once that it's already on the top, what you just have to do is close the crown, push it in. If you see the seconds handle moving, that's it. So when you start it, alright, you can see it moving really fast over there. So the next thing that you have to do is just press stop, then reset it. You can simply notice it's back on the top. There you go. Start, stop, nope, start. Let's stop it there, then reset it. There, so it's already fixed. So that's how you basically fix if the seconds for your timer is not aligning to 0 or to 60. You just have to do what I did. Alright, so just pull the crown, then keep on pressing at the start until it actually reaches the top, and that's it. So you've already fixed the setup for your timepiece. So for this particular watch, it's heavy, it has a solid build, and it's similar to, based on the design itself, it's likely similar to the T5 timepieces. So definitely I could probably run a test for this to check for its water durability. Alright, so it's a solid build. Well, for this watch, definitely it actually has a date window. Alright, it has a seconds, and seems that it actually has a 60. So that's seconds, minutes, and an hour. Oh, so basically the functions for this chrono is actually for timer. Alright, so that's it. This is the Mirai, so I won't be focusing on this one further, but definitely I could actually recommend it for people who just basically wants a day-to-day watch, something that if it gets something that gets damaged, you don't actually have to feel bad about it, because definitely you could afford purchasing another one right away, because it doesn't cost that much. All right, so let's move on to our next item. So that's Mirai once again. All right, so there's a model over here. It says S8616 original. I just noticed that. Let me focus this a little bit. There you go. That's what it says. So probably that's actually the model for this particular timepiece. Alright, so let's basically stop it at this particular point. Then let's move on to our next timepiece. Alright, so for our next timepiece, it's actually, let's check. So it's another wooden box. Alright, so solid build, and let's check. And this is a big watch, so I'm not quite sure what my wife bidded, but it's very heavy. Alright, and let's see, it's a huge watch. Look at its thickness. Well, let me just get a caliper here. It would help us a lot if we would be able to measure it. So I have a bunch of watches here at the side, and where's my caliper? There you go. Alright, so here's the caliper. So basing it on its thickness, you can see it there. So its thickness is actually 19.5 millimeter, and it has a solid stainless steel body. Barely, probably if I throw this to somebody, they'll have a big bump on their head. And for the dial, oh, it's a rotating dial. That's interesting. Alright, so you can see it actually has a crispy rotating bezel. Alright, so let's set it up to 60. So probably for a big man, if you're a big man, definitely I could recommend this watch. So let's check for its chrono. So let's basically check this one out. So for the chrono, let's see. Oh, you can press it. Basically, it's a design, I think. Yep, it's basically a design. And for the seconds hand, let's check. minutes 0 date function. Well, so for this particular timepiece, well, as far as I can say, it seems like a model watch, but well, probably I could actually modify it, because it's a solid build. Look at the strap, how thick it is. Just for the strap alone, the strap is already at 6 millimeter. per piece. So it's very heavy. Alright. So probably I'll check this timepiece further because it's my first time to actually see this brand. It's called President. Alright, there you go. That's the brand name. So for water resistance, it doesn't say. It doesn't say at the back. So probably I'll have this one checked further, or have it dismantled. Then probably modify it a little bit to have a working chrono. So probably this is just for a display timepiece. Alright, something to look elegant in your cabinet or something. Alright, so let's move on to the next timepiece. So it's already 20 minutes and we've able to feature 4 watches so far. So let's put it here. So let's now move on to our 5th timepiece. Alright, so for the 5th timepiece, let me just unpack this one. And by the way guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel in YouTube. Alright, because once that it actually hits 2,500 subscribers, I'll be giving away one luxury watch exclusive for Jams Posh. Right, and well, if you want to increase your chances of winning, you could basically participate and join the Our Empire community, same as with Kunoz Altel. Because for the Our Empire, once that the YouTube channel hits 2,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away one luxury timepiece exclusive for their viewers or their community in the Our Empire, and then 2,500, which is going to be for Jams Posh, and 3,000 subscribers, one free I'll be giving away one luxury watch as well for the Kunoz Altel community. That's with my friend Master G. Alright, so for this particular timepiece, let's start it out. Alright, so this one seems to have a different box. This one's cardboard. Alright, so for this timepiece, let's check this. There you go. So as what I can see, here you go. Here it is. The brand is Coro. I believe I've heard before Snoop Dogg was actually flexing this particular brand because he says that this particular brand has quality on it and it could basically compete with other mid-level range watches because of its quality. So this is actually for my wife. Right, so there it is. As far as I can see, it has a solid build. Case diameter for this particular timepiece is at, let's check. Case diameter is at 36 millimeter. Alright, there you go. And for the thickness, it's 13 millimeter. So it's elegant for a lady. And if I could simply notice, for its its clasp, it's actually a deployment, I think. Well, it's a bit hard. Oh, it seems that there's a lock on it. So let's basically try to pull it out. Yep. So seems for the quality, it's actually solid. And if you could simply notice, there's actually a deployment lock on it right over there. I'm not quite sure if it's basically called a deployment lock. It's like a clip lock. Yeah, it's actually a clip. Yep. So for this this particular timepiece, it's water resistant. So the brand is Coro, and it has a marble dial with, let's see, it's actually a natural diamond or natural stones. Plus, it's Swiss made. That's uncommon. You can see it at the bottom, it says Swiss made. So this particular timepiece probably could actually compete with other brands. All right, so it has a it actually has a magnified glass for the date. So it's elegant, and probably my wife will actually like it because, well, she already has plenty of watches to start with. So I know she will like this one. It's like a Rolex. Um, it's like what you call this one. A Rolex Perpetua because it only has a date window. All right. So here we go. So we're done with 5 watches. So let's move on with my timepieces. So let's start with something spicy. All right. That's what I always say. When I like something or it's luxury, I always identify it as a spicy item. Alright, so let's put it there for its 1, 2. Alright, so for this timepiece in UAE, they're having a tough time on acquiring it because for this timepiece, it's already be classified as a rare item because they can't manage to find any of this brand there, though they could actually find some, but rarely in brand new condition. All right, so for me, I was lucky enough to actually bid this item when Tomas found it in Jam's Posh. So there it is. It's a TW steel. Alright. So for this particular timepiece, let's check it out. Let's open it up. It's a vintage one. So probably it actually costs something more. Alright, so that's the timepiece. So definitely this particular watch will be added up on my collection because here in Japan, TW steel is available in Amazon. All right, but for this specific model, you can find it here. So as a timepiece collector, right, it's worth getting. So here it is. Let's focus it. That's the TW steel. Alright. So there's the back. It's perfectly solid. Alright. And you can simply notice as a signature for TW steel, it has a lock for water resistance. There you go. So for this particular model, it says over here it's 100 meters water resistant. Alright, so it's definitely worth waiting. And for its case diameter, it's 50 millimeter, and for its thickness, it's 15 millimeter. There you go. So definitely it's a heavy timepiece. So let's take off our Daytona. Alright, let's put it there. Well, let's put it in display. So I actually like this watch. This is my favorite timepiece. Put this one a little bit on the side and put it here instead. There you go. Or better yet, let's have it modeled. Alright, there you go. So let's put it on top. over here. Alright. So let's see. Let's flex it a little bit. Let's check. It's perfect. Basically fits my wrist. There you go. A big watch for a big man. Alright. So for this, I'm not quite sure what happened, but it seems that it doesn't have its warranty inside it. And probably I'll get in touch with Jab because I believe this was actually a very old stock of Snoop Dogg. It just happens to be that Tomas found it on his stocks. So it's already a vintage timepiece collection. It's already rare. Alright, if you could simply see, the box is steel. So once again, take a good look at it. That's a TW steel. Alright, a vintage model. Alright, so this will definitely go to my collection. Let's put it here. Well, I'm having difficulty with the space. Alright, let's put it a little at the side now. Here we go. Alright, so the next timepiece, another luxury item worth getting. I believe that most of the people had already seen this timepiece being worn by Boss Oliver from the Our Empire. Alright, I gave it to him as a gift. So as you can simply notice, I don't have any particular issues handing out gifts to people. As far as I know that they would really appreciate it. So for Oliver, I can definitely see that he's happy and he's wearing it most of the time. So I really appreciate him having that particular watch and keeps on flexing it to everybody. Right? So we have here one, and let's open up the second one. So we have two luxury timepieces for Tissot. Alright. So at the moment I already have plenty of Tissot, but for this specific model, I didn't bid this with the Empire. I bidded this with Snoop. Alright, to show him my respect. So here we go. We have Tissot. So let's open up the first box. Let's check what this is. Oh, alright. So let's have this one later because there's a surprise about this. So here it is. The first Tissot, we have the manual. It's complete. That's two. And this is the V8. Alright. So I hope you're watching this, Brother Ollie, because now Oliver's choice just landed in Japan. Alright. So just to share with everybody, alright, for this specific email. Alright, so let's back things up a little bit because I'm losing space. I want to discuss this timepiece so that everybody will be aware or would be aware on the details for this watch, because well, some of the people only know few information about this particular timepiece. But for my end, I did my own research before receiving this item. So for this particular Tissot, alright, just to share with everybody, this is the V8, alright, and for this particular timepiece, it's 100 meters water resistant, that's 330 feet, and it actually has a power reserve for 72 hours. All right, and it's a self-winding watch. All right, it's actually a mechanism inside it is actually for, well, let's unpack it a little bit here. Seems that it's perfectly sealed, and they don't actually want it for it to be scratched. So by the way, for this specific timepiece, it's already in sapphire crystal, right? So it's like a day-to-day watch as well, with elegance. So let's remove the plastic. Right, seems that it's perfectly sealed up. Here we go. Just took it off, and it's on a butterfly deployment lock. It's a push lock. So it has two cappings on it. Well, I won't remove it. Okay. So here it is, the V8. Alright. So just to share with everybody a few details on this particular timepiece. It's already in sapphire crystal. It has a date window. Alright. And it's a Swissmatic. So it's a self-winding watch, running under Swatch system. You don't basically mention it as system. That's SISTEM. All right, 51. It's actually a model of a set of timepieces. All right. So it's actually this particular model, the V8, just to share with you, just to basically share a history about it. All right. It's actually the first mechanical movement entirely automated by assembly. So this particular timepiece, on the back of it, all right, it only actually has 51 components, and all of them are actually anchored in the middle. All right, so it has a central screw on it, right? And for the power reserve for this particular timepiece, I actually believe it's actually 72 hours. All right, and it's 100% Swiss made, and it has 19 jewels. And for its movement, all right, for its movement, it's actually running under caliber 15.111. All right, just to share with everybody. So for this particular timepiece, it's well, it has a anti-shock feature. All right, it's called Nivachock. Well, specifically for the term, it's Nivachock. I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but basing it on how I actually read it before, all right. It actually has a compact. It's an accurate compact spacing inside it. So even though if it gets shaken a lot, you don't have to worry about certain gears getting messed up inside of it. Plus, the barrel itself, the barrel spring, it's actually made of Nivaflex. All right, the spring for its movement, so it's basically an accurate one, right? Comparing to other Tison models, I know there's a lot out there. All right, much better than certain features, having a chrono. But for the V8, the main highlight for this particular timepiece is its mechanism. All right, just to share with everybody, the mechanism itself is something worth keeping. All right, so just to discuss this further, just for its case diameter, it's around 42.50, if I'm not mistaken. So let's check it out. Yep, it's 42.5 millimeter. All right, that's the case diameter. And for the thickness, it's 12.7, assuming. Yep, got it correctly again. That's 12.7. And for the lug width, it's, let's check it out. Let's have its logs checked. Supposedly it's 22 millimeter. Yup, there you go. 22 millimeter. Got everything correct. So as what I mentioned earlier, it's actually 100 meters water resistant. That's 330 feet, and it's Swiss made. All right. So it's a non-rotating vessel, right? But yet for elegance, if you could simply notice, if I wear it, if it fits Oliver's hand perfectly, definitely it will fit mine. So these are the type of timepieces that I basically wear. So it's actually good if you're on, let's say, an office wear, you're on a long sleeve. All right. So for this, for the V8, it actually has 19 jewels inside it. So just to share with everybody, the reason why it has jewels is actually to avoid friction inside the watch, to provide more accurate time. So for the inclusion of this particular timepiece, we have here the service warranty for this particular card, and it doesn't actually say over here when it was purchased. So basically I could put the date over there, and it's from Deira City Center, Dubai. Alright, so for the inclusion, we have here the travel bag. So it's here. I believe it also serves as the dust bag for Tissot, or it's actually the micro cloth. So the dust bag basically serves as the micro cloth as well. All right. So that basically gives you the insight for this V8 model. It's a stainless steel one, the silver. And for this next timepiece, I also bidded it with the Empire. Alright. For what particular reason? Well, I guess it basically spells it out. It's going to be the price for my event. So probably I could change my mind if I want to, but having two of the same timepiece, it's actually a bit unreasonable. There's no particular reason to have two watches. It's unreasonable. So there you go. So it's another V8, but for this particular timepiece, it's on a leather strap with a rose gold and stainless steel. All right, having a white dial and a black non-rotating bezel. So there you go. Oliver, if you're looking at this, if you could check my box over there, you could actually see that I have this one on my bids. And I think it's already paid. Not so sure, right? But we'll see. Well, for this case diameter, it's also 42.50 millimeter, plus for the case thickness, this particular timepiece is actually at 12.7. Alright, for its thickness. And for the lug width, it's basically the same as the other V8, but the difference for this one is the design. Alright, so let's focus it a bit more. Same, it's basically the exact same specs. The only difference is the design. Alright, so for this, it actually has something like a ceramic steel. Alright, there you go. So I bid another of this timepiece from Oliver on the RSS. I was under the assumption before that what I got from Snoop Dogg was the PR 516, but it seems that I made a mistake over there. So for this timepiece, it has the same movement, so it's also under caliber 15.111. Right, same specs, same features, but this one looks a bit good if you're wearing black. All right, so that basically explains all of the timepieces that I got from Jam's Posh. This one's on leather. All right, so I hope everybody liked my review for Jam's Posh. Just to flex their team, thank you, Brother Snoop, all right, for accommodating me, giving time to actually flex my presence, all right, each time that you're on the live, you go live. By the way, Brother Snoop actually goes on live every Thursday, Friday, I think, or Friday, Saturday every morning, right? So for the rest of their family or their team, the Jam's Posh family, it's Riza Banana, Jam, or I basically call her Jamelita, the Destroyer, the Jamelita, the Explorer, and Maurice. All right. For Maurice, I can't think of any other word to describe her, but definitely she's crazy. All right. So, thank you very much for the opportunity that you've given me to feature your particular timepieces on my review. So definitely, I hope that all of you guys out there, all right, to our supporters for the alliance, I hope that I would appreciate if you could simply like, share, and follow their page. That's Jams Posh and DXB, right? I think I mentioned it correctly because for their page they have two. Alright. Anyway, you can visit their page at Jams Posh and you can definitely see over there their other page. That's DXB something. Alright. So for this particular review, thank you very much for sparing a couple of minutes of your time, or probably 48 minutes of your time, to just simply watch. And please don't forget to like, share, and follow Kunoz Altel and the Our Empire. That's with everybody knows Tomas or Ninong Tomas, and with my dear friend Master G, the epic performer in the UAE. Alright, so I hope you guys like this video. So thank you very much and have a great day. So once again, it's me, Mr. Kobayashi, dropping by at Jams Posh for their items. Alright, so thank you very much and have a great day. Cheers.